So we're going to talk about my hatred for frickin' Canada geese. Hey, most of you want to say Canadian geese. It's wrong. They're Canada geese. All right, so check your facts. Get it straight. They're terrible. They should be shot. I'm glad there's a season on
Here we go.
Hazelnut.
Yeah, the hazelnut debacle.
Oh, my God.
I like your Army guys.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so Tactical Distributors sent me some boots, and that was pretty cool. In their package, these Army guys come. Along with this, I saw our friend Thomas had one over there. Probably got it from Colin, I'm guessing. Their new calendar. And a couple of the pages I don't understand. Like, let me show you this. Like,
Oh, that's the month of December. It's the last month in the year.
yeah, I understand chronology.
Oh.
What's the pattern? Is this like Apache Warrior pattern or something?
It looks like maybe like an Aztec rug or like a Mayan rug, something like that. I believe they call them drug rugs.
All right, well, that one's stupid.
Have
And
you
also,
tried looking at it cross-eyed and see if something pops off the page? Remember those?
no, I could never do that.
Oh.
I could never do that. I remember those. Yeah, I was probably high school, middle school. Yeah. So this I also did not understand exactly. I mean, I understand it's sort of woodland camo-ish. You're going to tell me this is some West African something?
No, it's very British DPM.
But,
but I don't think it is.
I didn't understand this one. However, like almost all the rest of them are cool.
Yeah,
like this Aztec one's got like some frogs coming out of the water there. Pretty cool. But let's see. Where are some of my faves? Oh, this one. Sharks with laser beams.
I like
Yep.
that.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So the calendar, this is like the one calendar in a decade I've not thrown in the garbage as soon as I pulled it out of the box.
Nice.
Somebody sent me. So that was pretty cool.
It's very Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have some other good ones like banana clips. They got like AK mags popping out of a banana, which is pretty good. Popping out of a banana. Banana in the tailpipe. And then Vertex, which I gave you guys some of these, these socks. Vertex, that guy Ron, he's so cool at Vertex. These socks are awesome. Did you try them yet?
Not
you
yet.
didn't try them yet?
No.
So I've been trying them. And I got sweaty little feet. In the winter here, I always got to wear these Gore-Tex shoes. Man, this is the only time my feet don't get cold now. I love these socks, and they're not too high. I don't like those come all the way up to my knees. These are good.
Nice.
I like those. What about you guys? What's new? What's new at Q?
I got a new desk.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
a new office.
Yeah, technically. Got to get someone else's shit out of it.
There's literally a deceased human in that office
Yeah.
Oh.
that we need to move gently.
Yeah, he's very fragile. Well, it's a female,
She,
but my
yeah.
daughters named her Harry
Oh.
because she's a skeleton. They thought it was funny. They're like 8 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, there is actually a real human skeleton in that. So I used to live up here in the weird state of New Hampshire in this medieval kind of castle house. And right when you came in the door was that piece of furniture, which that's an amazing piece of furniture. And that's a real skeleton that's in that thing. And that's the only thing I've cared about keeping out of that whole house. Yeah, that's creepy. I tell you, when people would come work on like the cable guy or whatever, I remember he was totally freaked out by it. He left. They sent another cable guy. I don't understand, like, but I guess it's like superstition or something. People are freaked out by skeletons. It's pretty good.
I like.
Another grim one.
No, I liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. So new office. All right, that's super exciting for everyone.
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on at Q? So I don't know. Are we about to start shipping these things? So
Yep.
here's the little bolt handle. The original bolt handle on the fix.
Mm-hmm.
I modeled it after the Remington Model 600, really that Johnny Noveski built me, which I spoke to last week. It's a slim profile when the bolts close. I would say this is like a hunting bolt handle or a minimalist.
Definitely minimalist.
Yeah. So it's a utility gun. We're going after that. A lot of people want a bigger one.
Yeah.
So we were talking about it like 3 years ago. So here we have the first in a generation. This is not one where we have interchangeable bolt knobs. But this one, I don't know, Tom, are you going to be able to see this? Yeah. So anyway, it's longer. You get way more leverage, easy to lift. You can still fold the stock over on it. I like it.
Yeah.
Ergonomically, it's correct. It makes it uglier.
It's a little uglier. I like how it bumps out because when I shoot it, I like to have my thumb resting on the bolt handle. That's kind of a gas pedal. I think they call that on a handgun.
Oh.
So I just keep my thumb on it while I'm shooting, and it's a nice little place to rest it.
See, is that what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I use the selector.
I was going to say, I do the selector as well.
This one's got a little one on it. I think I've got a bigger one on mine.
I just like having my thumb on the bolt handle so that when I go to grab it, I'm already there.
Yeah.
Afraid it's going to jump up and chamber another
I might
round
just forget where it is or,
Yeah.
get lost.
Yeah, so this thing is way easier. I mean, the idea of the big bolt handle is leverage, not to have a big knob to grab a hold of.
Right.
So anyway, we've got that.
Yeah, and they're in stock. They're all ready to go. We just need to, I guess, do the product page, get them up for sale, launch it. Keep your eyes on the various social media channels that Jay can speak to. Where are we now?
Are we shadow banned still, or have they?
I haven't gotten any notifications about shadow banning. People haven't said anything about it, but as a backup, we're still on Instagram. We have a Twitter. We have a MySpace, which is cool. Spirit Systems was kind of the first to take the jump to do that.
Dude, my woman laughed so hard when she saw the post about MySpace. She didn't know it was still a thing.
It's hilarious.
People messaged her like, "Is this a real thing? Are we really doing it?" Like, we're really doing it.
It's growing fast. I think we're up to 5 followers.
I think we are. We have more followers than we follow, which I think is good.
It's a good record.
Yeah, good ratio.
Mm.
But the people that do follow us, it looks very clear that they created a MySpace just to follow us. So we kind of got to get people to be on MySpace.
Mm-hmm. What is our MySpace name?
It is, the URL is myspace.com/unpossibleq.
Okay. Unpossible Q.
Unpossible
So if you're
Q.
on MySpace, do you know how you can search and find us?
That's how they do it. We currently
Unpossible Q.
Unpossible Q. Yeah, we don't currently have
underscores or anything.
Nope.
Nice.
All one word. We don't have a page song yet. So
what does that mean?
So you can put a song on the page. So when you click on the page,
choosing Ariana Grande, or are you going to do something?
Well,
from
no.
hours
So that's
north?
neither. That's the thing. You can only choose from MySpace artists. So if people want to create a MySpace page and follow us, they can. Also,
So I have a question.
Sure.
So is the incredible alternative electric band Hours North, are they considered a MySpace artist?
I don't believe so. No.
How does one become a MySpace artist?
You just make
Seems
a MySpace page and upload your music. It's pretty simple.
Well, it seems like with all that social media you're doing, you guys will be on there.
That's a good point. But we're not on there. Maybe we'll have to be. But
So other than MySpace,
Thomas,
yeah,
where are we at? Twitter, Instagram.
Band demotion over here.
What's our Twitter handle?
Twitter is.
It's a handle on Twitter.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
I'm gonna link all the.
Because that's like CB.
Are we
Like, we're
doing-
talking about Burt Reynolds earlier, Smokey and the Bandit. So you got a handle.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put all the links to the social media in the description, just so people don't have to. How do they spell that?
The show notes.
Show
Are
notes.
we formal that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that.
Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook is still up. We're trying to be more active on that as far as responding to people, because sometimes they get lost.
I'm
in the
not getting
ether on
more
that.
active on
I'm
that.
working on it.
All right, you get off to that.
We have a Pinterest also. I guess that's super popular.
Nice.
For real?
Yeah, Amy
Ooh,
was
I
talking
like
about it.
Pinterest. Yeah, of course Amy was. Girls love that.
Right. So, but we started a thing on there. There's, I believe it's Live Q or Die, but I'm gonna post all the URLs in the link.
I think Amy on her Pinterest has a buffalo chicken casserole crock pot recipe that I have used before. That
Maybe I'll save it to the queue.
I can't figure out Pinterest. I know that makes me sound like an old man, but
I'm in the same boat.
Or a
I'm
man
getting-
in
I
general.
don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty savvy on the tech.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
It's
just
coming
can't figure it
along.
out.
it's coming along for sure.
It's like Snapchat when that first came out. No chance.
People are pushing to have us get a Snapchat, but I really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Is it more than teenagers showing each other their private parts now?
Apparently, I guess there's like news. I know people who get their news from Snapchat, which is probably not the greatest thing in the world,
Yeah.
but
Probably better than Fox or CNN.
allegedly.
It's all fake.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
go ahead. You got something?
Well, I'm just gonna keep going with the social media stuff.
Yeah, I was going to.
Yeah, we're on Reddit.
Yes.
Right, we're
Oh,
on-
we
we're-
are.
we're
I've still never been on
Well,
Reddit.
so we're
and
trying
Reddit's
to.
in the news right now, so we should talk about that. But
Yes, we're on there, but also we have a 28-day ban on there. So
Oh, what
when
happened?
Why? What happened?
Drew and I were
no, you said enough.
going through it. We have a 28-day ban.
Yeah.
But when we come back,
what'd you do?
it was just Reddit's super strict on not promoting yourself for sales or anything like that, not endorsing yourself, basically.
Outside of your own subreddit.
Right. And so the verbiage...
Adam, I love this. You have kids. You'll understand that.
There was
me
some-
interrogating my children right now.
There was some verbiage.
What'd you
that was
actually
used-
do?
Yeah, no, there was some verbiage that was used that evidently they didn't like, so they yanked it. Just
like
we had a-
verbiage meaning, hey,
like
go.
just addressing, instead of saying to consumers, I think we said customers, and they didn't like that, so they pulled it.
For real.
Yeah.
So they're also Nazis.
Yeah, I was
But
going to say...
only outside of...
Right.
If you're on somebody else's
Right.
Reddit.
And you're kind of trying to promote your own business on like the guns general subreddit, they'll monitor that.
So there's a distinction between those two words that can lead to punishment of a banishment for 28 days.
Yep.
But if we want to promote, we have to do it on our own page.
What a weird America.
Yeah.
Like, I am too young to say that.
Well, Instagram pulled that post that I made about the Erector 9 just because I said that it was available now. I didn't say where to go. Like
I thought that one was strange. That was recent. That was in the
Yeah.
last week or so.
Yep, and they pulled that.
Yeah, well, that's because they already got a stick up their ass about us. Yeah.
I mean, that was a clear attempt to sell them, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't realize I'm not allowed to do.
Well, you know what I saw? Social media. Websites count as social media at this point? I'm confused.
Yeah, it's a
All right.
platform.
So EOTech. So my woman also last night, she, sitting 3 feet from me on the couch, forwarded me the EOTech. Was there some sort of purchase there? Is like EOTech and Aimpoint combined now or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, aware. Anyway, EOTech's new website, on the main page, the first picture when I pulled their website up was the mini fix with their new 1:8 on it, the Voodoo 1:8,
Nice.
which we have the 1:6, great scope. I assume the 1:8's the same, but two better. But it was really awesome seeing the mini fix on there.
The minifix is the coolest gun in the world. That's
I concur.
people recently in the comments. Some guy was saying that short of a barrel for a precision gun. It's like no one is insinuating that
Precision.
it's a one's
Okay,
insinuating it's a PRS gun.
Let them define precision.
Right.
God, man. Well, you know what I noticed in the last couple of days? The teenage trolls and memers have found our new account, our backup Instagram account, and they're with their private accounts and anonymity are posting a bunch of dumb shit on our page again.
Which
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen exactly.
That's a nice picture on the EOTech.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. And
Looks
how
like-
dare they? Didn't even send us a 1:8. So I'm not going to use their scope to hunt until they send me a 1:8. So there you go.
I'll stop drinking out of their coffee mug.
All right. So that brings me to, we're doing a new website, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, we are.
I mean, I don't know what Thomas does in his off hours. It should be our website.
It's this freaking podcast.
But Thomas, the jackass, is doing an incredible job so far on the website.
Yeah, I
the
like
preview I saw, I love. I hate our current site. It sucks so hard. So I'm excited about our new website.
I made that.
You did? I'm sure it was good for the time.
It
We
does
have not
suck.
updated it. We've
It's-
not paid
it's
attention.
old.
But it's easy when you're always back ordered to not care about your website. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say. But as the company grows and now we're like creating actual departments and growing those, the marketing department, I'm so excited about. And it's so great having Thomas, who doesn't do anything in his off hours here, because then we see like the incredible stuff that he's been doing, how much we need to do. And, so I'm energized about the new website and, and working with marketing and customer service and seeing a lot of the questions that we get. And then also now as it's flowing over, so selfishly, it's flowing over into my personal social media accounts, people that are messaging me about work stuff. So that gets annoying. That shows me I'm not doing my job. So we're going to create tons of videos on every product and all this stuff to really kind of give information out there as the company's grown. So I'm excited about that. But the look of it, like, I don't know how to find certain stuff on our current website. Like, it's just as we've added stuff, we've not done it in I think a very natural, organic way to where it's easy for someone like me who is not as tech savvy as you, Adam, to find everything. So on this site, I'm excited about. Like, I looked at it, it looks great. It got me excited. It looks like the layout's very easy. So it's going to be beneficial for our customers. And more importantly for me, for our customer service, it's going to be more efficient for them. So we don't have to grow that department as much. We can spend the money on more fun stuff.
The social media, the website, the customer service, the answering questions, things like that. The website's great. We have a new customer service girl, Jenna. She's doing awesome.
Yes.
Jenna seems great. Yeah.
Jay is now the social media guy. I don't know if do you have a title?
Social media representative.
So.
I just tell people I do social media stuff. I just tell people I do social media stuff with Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. So by next week, my homework, let me make a note here, is to make sure Jay has a title.
Yeah. So I guess what I was getting at is, you said you're getting a lot of messages on Q and your personal and all the different places. So now we have Jay also doing that. We'll be able to answer questions more frequently across all the platforms consistently. So it's good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I don't know. I'm just probably an asshole by nature, but I'm not trying to do it for some sort of image for the company. But yeah, some of the redundant questions, and when they reach into like my personal life and stuff, it just is annoying. It's like info@liveqordie.com, and yeah, I apologize. We're backlogged on everything, including the website, and we're upgrading that, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, if it's something quick, just like hey, can I use the 9mm cherry bomb that I have in place of the 30 cal cherry bomb, and it's the same thread pitch, like I'll just answer that. But other technical stuff like thread pitches and things like that, I'm gonna direct you to Jenna just because the DMs are full of that stuff.
Well, yeah, and it's not just because you don't want to answer it or that you can't answer it. It's that her job is customer service, and it's compiling the list of frequently asked questions,
right?
And being able to answer those questions in a clear and concise way every time. That way, the same message is always getting out, and she has a list of all the frequent questions. So,
right.
She's at the ready.
Keeping a trail of that, like a written down trail, it's just good for everybody, and that way she has it all compiled. So, and it helps not answering the same person on 3 different platforms.
Yeah, people doing that shit's like my kids. So like, you don't get the response you want from me, so you go to my woman.
Right.
Yeah, don't do that shit. If send an email, info@liveqordie.com, if you have any sort of question about the company. That's your best place. If you do that and then you DM our Instagram, then you DM me on Instagram, you're not helping us. You're not helping yourself. Anyway, enough of that crap.
Yeah.
Jay, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Integral silencer. Give me a definition.
So generally, an integral silencer is on a gun where the barrel is ported, so it releases gas, usually slowing down the supersonic round, and then there's a silencer on top of that, and the gas will expand inside of the first chamber in the silencer, and then the round goes through, and it's super quiet. So you can take like supersonic 9mm ammunition, and it will turn it subsonic.
It's pretty good.
I want to make another retraction like I did last week, like saying, well, I don't know, maybe it was Thomas wasn't doing work after hours, but Jay apparently is studying my social media, and I appreciate it. That is a correct and great answer.
Crushed it.
I feel good about it. You want to amend it in any way? Because I think you did good, but I don't know. You seem a little self-conscious.
No, I put it in layman's terms, so I think we're good to go.
Is it fair to say that an integral silencer is integral to the function of the firearm? Like it's necessary to be there for the gun to work?
As recommended.
For like gas.
I think
function.
that's something I don't normally include. But yeah, I think integral generally means you cannot fire the gun without the silencer too. I should. Okay, I'm making a note. So.
If I were to amend my thought, it would.
If I'm to use the word in the definition.
Yes.
All right. So yeah. So like the MP5 SD. Yeah. So integral silencer. So I made a post about this week on my personal social media, trying to continue to pimp my book. But the SD, that was interesting, and that got a lot of engagement. And I've gotten, it's funny because I get more DMs than I get responses on social media. But the MP5 SD, so about, not quite 10 years ago, but when I went to work at SIG, for about a year, I was courted by H&K as well, and I was there, and I spent some time over in England where the owner lived, in Obendorf at H&K. And we talked about, in an engineering meeting one day, about the MP5 SD, because they were kind of stopping production on the MP5, which they still make them. They haven't been able to get away from it. And what they did was just kind of double the price on everything, justified them continuing servicing the guns. But the SD, they told me, because I always assumed, like everyone else probably, that the gun was designed for special forces. But what they said was the German National Police used the MP5s. And their range, they had one range in the country where they all qualified every year. And I don't remember the city where it was, or the town. I don't think it was one of the major cities, but they had the National Police range there where they all qualified, maybe some type of headquarters. But urban encroachment started to happen. Like the city was becoming, and I don't remember, it seems like they told me there was some kind of industry there that was creating like kind of a population boom in the town. And so there was a lot of complaints about the shooting and about the noise from them qualifying. And they developed the MP5 SD for them to be able to qualify with their MP5s without disturbing the neighborhood or the community so much. Noise pollution. And that's why they developed the guns. And I have the very first HK catalog that has the MP5 SD in it, which I post about on my Instagram. And I think it's 170 grain ammunition. And the idea was the German police at the time used 115 grain load, and that's what they would test with. So they had to develop this integral silencer and integrally suppressed firearm for them to be able to use their duty ammo and their duty gun to qualify at this range. And so it was about, out of the barrel length of the MP5, it was a little over 1,200 feet a second, so a very hot round for 9mm. So they shortened the barrel. They put 30, I thought it was 32, but it may be 30. I think they're 2.5mm ports just in front of the chamber in the barrel. And what that does is just what you said, Jay. It vents the gas into the expansion chamber of the silencer. So the silencer threads all the way over the barrel, and the threads are right at the chamber. So you have an expansion chamber over the barrel. So the entire barrel is encompassed inside the silencer. And those gases expand, and they don't allow the bullet to get to supersonic speeds. And then the muffler, the silencer, lets all the gas that pushes the bullet out of the barrel expand, cool, lose their energy, bleed out in the atmosphere without it igniting the oxygen. So it does what a silencer is supposed to do, and it allows, and the barrel porting doesn't allow the bullet to reach the supersonic speed, so it doesn't give you the supersonic crack like cracking a whip or like a rifle caliber. So brilliant design, really great, works great. Turns out, Special Forces used it for 20, 25 years. The downside to porting the barrel, in this instance especially, is instead of a 9mm, for instance, a plus P round, you're getting a marginal 380 round. So if you're shooting somebody, like you got a bad guy in the winter in Germany, or here right now, I'm looking out the window, it's snowing right now, and he's wearing undershirt, sweatshirt, a leather coat, and you shoot him from 50 yards away, it's probably not going to penetrate, especially if you're using expanding ammo. So it turns a 9mm into basically a 380. So it sucks. And another thing with them porting so hard and so early at the chamber and using a short barrel is this gun is 6 to 9 MOA, where the MP5 is more accurate. The MP5 isn't super accurate, but for a 9mm it's accurate. So 6 to 9 MOA, so 6 to 9 inches at 100 yards. I mean, this essentially, the MP5 SD, it turns it into a 25-meter gun, which is kind of marginal. And, the gun, the MP5 SD is 8 pounds. There's lots of 308 guns with silencers that are 8 pounds, and this is essentially a 380. At the time, the early 70s, this was super cool. I love shooting it. It's just about everyone's favorite guns. I've got a bunch of MP5s. I like them. But you have to look at it from a nostalgia standpoint. People that argue, for instance, we built the Honey Badger to replace this gun because they needed better accuracy. They needed it to be as quiet as the MP5 SD. But shooting a subsonic round with the MP5 SD, we shoot something that has twice the payload. And, we get with subsonic 2.5 MOA at 100 with the fast twist barrels and the heavy bullets. And we get 1 to 2 MOA with supersonic, which gives you the power of the AK. We're not porting the barrel. It's just a muzzle can, so it's not a true integral, even though the silencer's under the handguard. So
outside the fun factor, is there a place for, integral silencers, ported barrels, whatever it is, that major loss in velocity? Is there a place for that in today's market, I guess?
I honestly think I love integral. I love silencers. So I'm not the guy to ask, as the owner of this company, the place is the commercial market. The industry's gotten so big, and when I started, silencers was such a niche thing, and now it's such a mainstream thing. Yeah, I think there is a place for integral 9mm. Handguns, carbines, pistol caliber carbines, Jay? Is that
Pistol
what you
caliber
kids call?
carbine. Yep.
Yeah, I think there is a place for it. It's a lot of fun. Recreational shooting is a lot more prevalent. I love it. It's super quiet, so you eliminate noise pollution, the need for hearing protection. I mean, my children, my children had all shot this gun before we developed the the Honey Badger SD. So this was their favorite gun, and still is one of their favorite guns to shoot. But now, it's interesting to see, like my kids now all pick up the Mini Fix with a silencer and subsonic ammo to shoot. Then after that is the Honey Badger, and then after that's this gun. And my daughters now pick this gun up. When they were 8 years old, they would shoot the MP5 SD, and they loved it. Now they have a Honey Badger the SD weighs 5 pounds, so 3 pounds less. So, a 50% weight reduction essentially. They think the MP5 SD is too heavy unless they can rest it on something, which is ironic as they get older and mature and stronger and bigger. But for them recreationally, they want to shoot something that doesn't recoil a lot, that's not loud, and they're not. But my kids have been pretty spoiled. They've been shooting machine guns since they were old enough to shoot guns. But they like the Mini Fix the most now.
Me too.
But I think recreationally, if we could do something with integral pistols, Silencer Co., they did the Maxim 9, which, that was me and Ethan and Eric Burt, who was industrial designer at Magpul, who I hired at Advanced Armament. He did the Honey Badger with us. But at Magpul, he did the CTR stock. He did the PMag. He did a lot of cool stuff. He's a brilliant kid, but he's not a mechanical engineer. He's the first to admit it. So after we all left Advanced Armament, he did, I think he was the main designer on the Maxim 9 for Silencer Co., but he's not a mechanical engineer, and they've always, just like Dead Air, Silencer Co. has been very weak in actual engineering. And that pistol's cool. I like it. I think it was bad timing. I think it's a little too heavy. The trigger's not that good, which is a problem with the MP5 SD. Like I just did an Instagram post saying Euro trash ergonomics, and the trigger sucks on the MP5s. The ergonomics suck. The AR is better, and that's what the Honey Badger is based on. So, I want to do stuff with some of the pistol caliber carbines. I've got a good idea based on some stuff that our special operations groups did in R&D 45 years ago for 9mm that I want to bring to market for Glocks and the pistol caliber carbines. We'll see how far it goes. But yeah, I think
that's kind of why I was asking that question.
Yeah, I think, I've got an idea. If we can make it come to fruition, I've talked to you about it. We can make 115 grain 9mm subsonic and work in every platform, whether it's a Glock 9mm, a Glock 17, or a pistol caliber carbine, so people can buy cheap ammo and it's quiet and use with their silencers.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And talking about the integral pistol. So here's the integral pistol that we did. This is the first one that we did at Advanced Armament. So this is me and Ethan and Eric. So we started with the Beretta. So a lot of the military units, and this was originally done for the Air Force. Shout out, Jay.
Big
Air
Blue.
Force. Holla.
Aim high.
So slide lock Beretta. So they were using a Knight snap-on can that had urethane wipes in it. They require a lot of maintenance. It's not really, except very specialized units within the military. It's not very practical. So we were working on a conversion for these guns with an integral silencer. So this barrel actually vents gas into a silencer and allows it to travel in front of the bullet to the main silencer here from the barrel. This never got past prototyping stage. This just proved to be so complicated and heavy, and there's just a lot of limitations starting with the Beretta. But we made the prototypes, basically proof of concept. It worked. This is cool. This was a great idea. But what we did was we discovered the Remington 51, which is a Remington 380 done by John Pedersen, who did the Pedersen device for the 03 Springfield. If you guys have ever seen that, turns an 03 Springfield, a World War I/II rifle into, which is a bolt action 30-06 into a 30 caliber pistol sized automatic rifle. Basically, magazine goes in the ejection port. Cool gun. He did the Remington Model 51, which is a great pistol. It's a 380. There's no screws in the entire pistol. It's a fixed barrel, low bore axis. It shoots great, but it's a locked breech. He had this like falling block design. And Ethan and I got really inspired by that. And then we discovered he did a Remington Model 53, which during World War II competed with the 1911. And it was better in every regard, except it was more expensive to make, and the 911 or the 1911 was already in production. So they went with that. So we based the gun on that and started building an integral pistol, which was the second generation of this. And then I was thrown out of Advanced Armament. Ethan and Eric left, and Eric Consulting did the work for Silencer Shop because my old boss at Remington.
Silencer Co.
Oh, yeah. Silencer Co.
Right.
I hate that. I get them confused all the time. Sorry, Silencer Co. I didn't mean to insult anyone. But so my old boss went to a couple of companies, ended up the CEO of Silencer Co., and he got Eric Burt as a consultant, I believe, to do their Maxim 9 integral pistol. And Eric did a great job, could have benefited from probably mine and Ethan's input. In that pistol, whether it be bad timing, didn't quite get there with design, hasn't really taken off. But I think it's probably the best product they've done.
It's a pretty cool
I think
gun.
they started shipping it right around, or HPA happened shortly after they launched it. So I think that hurt things a bit.
Good old Knox.
Yeah.
It is a pretty cool gun. It gets hot, though.
Yeah.
The Maxim 9.
I have one.
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, have you shot your PSP very much?
No, I don't shoot anything very much.
Yeah. Well, the HKP7.
I have 2 kids under 4.
Yeah. The HKP7, gas operated gun, and those also get super hot. But, I mean, it's a thing. People want, there's no free lunch. You want to trap all that gas and let it cool before it hits the atmosphere. The gun and silencer are going to get hot. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the way it is. Your gun's going to get dirtier. Even if it's a piston system, most of that trash travels down the barrel. If you shoot a gun with a silencer, it's going to be heavier, it's going to get hotter, and it's going to get dirtier. And no matter what, any little Paco Goobers or OSS claim, those are the facts. If you're not trapping that gas and cooling it, then it ain't going to be quiet. It's not going to, eliminate muzzle flash. It's just the way it goes. Things get better every year, but there's no magic solution as long as we're working with a traditional metallic cartridge. Anyway,
Yeah.
what else?
A couple new things at the website last week. On Friday, we launched a couple new Plan Bs. We got one for the Tyrant. Works with the Tyrant 9 and the Tyrant 45. So that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, Plan Bs are something I get, like half the DMs are about
Yeah.
Plan Bs. It's awesome.
Yeah, and AAC is not supporting their silencers anymore, so this is a good option for people that want something else. A couple people asked if they can shoot 300 blackout through their Tyrant. My answer to that was, since it's no longer supported, play it safe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to speak to that, Kevin. I
don't know. What's it mean? You can drive with your feet. Don't make it a good idea.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
Chris Rock quote. You might be too young to know who Chris Rock is.
I'm aware of who Chris Rock is. Yes.
Pookie from New Jack City. You guys seen New Jack City, the two of you? Probably not.
No.
Nope. High Fidelity New Jack City. Put it on the list.
It's on the list.
So here's what I would say. 300 blackout subsonic from an energy perspective, gas volume perspective, you can shoot it through a 9mm can. However,
Any 9mm can?
technical, yes, should work if it's rated for 9mm. Here are the caveats, and you can't always answer. If you've got some bootleg shoulder, if you're not using a taper, you're not getting good alignment. The long 300 blackout subsonic bullets do not stabilize as quickly as short 9mm bullets. So if you got some bullshit slow twist, a 1 in 10, 1 in 8, 1 in 7 twist, and a short 300 blackout, when your bullets come out of the muzzle, they're doing this. 9mm is kind of doing this. So you can destroy your silencer if you have the ultra awesome 1 in 5 twist 300 blackout. You're safer. So there is no absolute answer. It's like most things, and I'm not trying to be an attorney and give you some vague bullshit answer. If you put your Tyrant 9 on our Honey Badger pistol and you have the shoulder adapter and you shoot subsonic, 99% okay. If you do it on a 1 in 8 twist or on the Rattler with a 5-inch barrel, It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, definitely shoot it on paper. Make sure those holes are round.
Before you put the silencer
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
sure.
I mean, that is the way we used to test. Would be
Yeah.
we put up cardboard. It's a little easier to identify than just paper on cardboard, and shoot through a target without the silencer at 10 feet, 10 yards, to make sure your bullets aren't going sideways through the target before you put your silencer on. That's the easiest way for people to test stuff. Like, I can't give you an answer. Like, I'm not buying you a new Tyrant silencer if you blow it up.
No, I mean, I have a Tyrant at home. I would not do it, especially considering there's nobody supporting the product right now.
Right.
If there was somebody supporting AAC silencers, I might consider it, but for now, no.
You know, the other comment I have on that, people ask me stuff all the time about the old AAC. So I say, oh, well, you know, and it's like 13 years ago we did the 7.62 SDN6. It was the best 30 caliber silencer at the time. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's not because we just moved on. Like, don't ask me about your car that's 14 years old. Don't ask me about your cell phone that's 14 years old. Get a new one.
Mm-hmm. That was my first silencer experience with 300 Blackout, was on the SDN6, and it was a great experience for the time.
Yeah, for the time it was great.
Yeah.
It was, because those things just happened to align at the same time. The SDN6 was actually for 308 for the Navy SEALs, and 300 Blackout was also for another group within the Navy. And it was good timing, and it worked out well. Yeah.
We did a Ghost M.
Yeah, another
Plan B
one
as well.
at the same time, the Ghost M.
What is that?
For the Plan B.
What's a Ghost M?
Dead Air's
Your boys.
Modular 45.
Modular.
The old
but-
Hack M. Okay.
Yeah, but it also works on their Wolfman and the Wolf 9 SD. Some people hit us up with questions on all of those were Dead Air cans, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I ask what's the difference in a Wolf Man and a Wolf SD or whatever?
The Wolf SD, I think, breaks into two halves, so you can have a K can or a full size. I don't know what the Wolfman is, to be honest. It might be a one piece.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to set you up.
No,
I
that's
thought
fine.
the Wolfman was like one of their AK.
That's the Wolverine.
That's the Wolverine,
which is a great
yeah.
name for that silencer, personally.
Yeah.
Dork.
I like. Good movie.
It's a good movie.
Hey, Kevin, you seen Red Dawn?
The first one?
The first one.
Oh, I don't know. It's John Cusack in it.
No.
Yes.
So yeah, we launched those. People have questions on compatibility. They hit us up all the time. Will this work with my one-off Form 1 sound?
Yeah.
Who knows what threads did you put on it?
In the future, we're gonna come up with basically a cheat sheet. So we'll
Yeah.
just put our thread dimensions for the Plan Bs that we have.
Mhm.
And if you have a question about it, we're probably gonna send you that. And if your can matches that, then give it a shot.
Yeah,
Or
we need
if
to
you
do
have, that. If you have the information and you know this works on a reputable silencer from a real manufacturer,
Right.
hit us up, tell us, we'll add it to our compatibility list on the product page.
Yeah, that's a big
Because-
one. If people can at least give us those thread dimensions, that actual
Mhm.
mounting thread, include that in your email or your DM or whatever, so that
Yeah.
way it's quicker for us to check.
If it's not on our compatibility list on the product page, don't ask us if it's compatible, because if we knew it was, it'd be on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I don't even remember the threads of things anymore. We've done too much stuff.
There's
So
a-
when people
there's a
ask
bunch
me,
of them.
I don't even know what the threads are.
The Wolfman is modular, multi-caliber. It specializes in subgun, light duty rifle, and pistol use.
Specializes.
So the Wolfman's the new one. It's the modular one.
I guess so.
We
Yeah.
had some questions from people. I asked on the Instagram for people to make us pick between things. Some people listened. A lot of people did not
You
listen.
did a poll?
It wasn't a poll. No, it was just a come up with two things to make us pick between.
Oh.
This is so cute because I just thought of it. Reminded me of how you're closer to my kid's age than mine. I have these discussions at dinner. All right, let's have it. I'm ready. Let's go. You got some questions?
Yeah, there were a couple ones. One good one was a Q platform and a random silencer, or a random platform and a Q silencer. Which would you rather have? And you have to choose one of the two options.
I mean, that's a tough one, but I would choose a Q firearm.
Me too. I would do mini fix with whatever 30 cal can I could get a hold of.
Yeah, I mean, the guns, we've put so much effort into them, and they are, especially something like the mini fix. There's nothing out there like it. What about you, Adam?
I'd say they're both better than no silencer.
That's
So,
true.
That's good. I guess I'm with you guys. I'd rather have a mini fix or a honey badger with. I mean, I have a mini fix at the house with a Sig 762 silencer on it.
It's a good can.
It's a great can.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the first question.
Yep.
Second question is Mexican or Chinese food?
This is a question.
That is, trust me, I pulled the cream of the crop.
I don't know. I always find it weird when people start asking me real personal shit like that.
Yeah.
I like a crab rangoon.
Love a crab rangoon.
I like.
And nachos at the same time. How do you
Oh.
pick those two?
Yeah.
It's like
it's a tough
blondes or brunettes. Like,
Brunettes.
I don't know. She, I
obviously
don't know. She had
blondes.
got a trust fund.
I'm going to go with Mexican food. I'm just going to make the statement. I'm going to
Yeah.
go with it.
Now you throw sushi into the mix, some Japanese, game over.
I'm all set.
But that wasn't part of the question.
Glock 17 or P320?
P320.
Wrong.
Yeah. Glock 17.
Glock 17.
P3,
I respect you.
P320 with all the updates.
So
Okay, so like an X series, but not the
updates.
set.
Wait. Let me rephrase, Adam. The non-recall 320 over the Glock 17.
Okay.
So I love Sig. Also, like, Sig's a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, we talk about them a lot.
Yeah. So I do like what they're doing now with this whole studio sort of glamour girl Kylie Jenner thing with the 320, where they have what do they call their cartridge? The receiver, the
Fire control unit.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's a acronym for you Marines about that.
FCU
It's
would be it.
FCU.
Look at you.
I wasn't even a Marine.
Air Force. They're the smartest.
Yeah.
Anyway, that where you can like build your own gun. That's kind of cool. But it depends on what you want. I mean, my feeling is I'm going to let you answer. You're emotionally tied to the 320.
No, I'm not.
Or is it better than a Glock?
The trigger's better. I'll say that. At least on the X series.
I don't think that it's. I mean, they both do the job they're supposed to do. I like the potential for what the 320 as a system can bring to the market, what it already has, and what it can in the future. Like you got the flux defense thing, which is cool, kind of not well executed, but that just shows the potential for what we can do with that FCU. And now that they're selling it individually,
Well, wait a second. Do you ever heard of Lynn Bias?
no.
Lynn Bias, one of the greatest collegiate basketball players in the history, well, of college. University of Maryland, gets drafted to the Boston Celtics, who at the time were on a downhill slide, but one of the great dynasties and teams, even of that era, just after Larry Bird. Gets drafted to Boston Celtics, like that night dies of a cocaine overdose. Lynn Bias had great potential. Lynn Bias, no stats in the NBA. 320. Potential doesn't mean shit.
Nope, and you're right. I just think that, and it's not. I'm not saying SIG's not going to execute it well. The fact that it's available and it should be available for third parties to develop around that platform. I think the potential there, if done well and done right, whatever.
Well, I think that's a good point, and I think that even if SIG doesn't necessarily do it
Mhm.
properly, other companies can step in because of that ability, like you said, with the fire control unit. Other companies can step in and kind of make something off of that.
And I have no doubt that SIG's not already doing that. They launched the FCU as a standalone item.
Yeah,
They
the,
want
the,
that-
the whole
they
studio
want-
where you build your own gun with
Yeah.
that is a cool part. I
Yeah.
like it, but if you, I don't know, when we talk about handguns, I don't know, I guess I'm just a jackass. We can go shoot and have fun together. When I think of a handgun, I think of carrying a gun.
Right.
And when I carry a gun, I carry a Glock. And
Yeah.
I love SIG, and I'm not hating on SIG.
I think Adam does too.
The three,
Carry Glock.
Yeah, not a 17.
No. Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
Well, the thing is I had the full size 320 X VTAC or whatever, and it's a good gun. And I think you agree that it's a good gun. But the only thing it came down to for me was grip angle and height over bore.
That's
like
always
bore
the
axis.
argument. Yeah, I mean, you can shoot a Glock, I think, faster, maybe. I
I've
don't
just
know.
shot it more.
You definitely can. The bore axis on the 320 is way too high.
Max Michel would, crush me on any of that.
Yeah,
of
Max
course,
Michel
so.
with a Glock would crush you
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's an outlier.
Yeah.
Max Michel is a great shooter. That's
Yeah.
all he's done. He's been a pro shooter his whole life. That's not reality. The 320 bore axis is too high to shoot fast.
Yeah.
The gun's great. It's a great handgun. Nobody shoots anybody with handguns. Who cares?
If you were to give me a 320 and a Glock 17 and say shoot them as is forever, I'd probably maybe choose the Glock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
for
think the 320.
for shootability and all that. And
But you brought up a good point.
there's a
about
solid aftermarket for the Glock already. It's growing for the 320, but
Yeah.
bone stock.
Yeah.
There's an argument.
The steel mag for the 320, that's better. Glock would be better at a steel mag. The grip angle on the 320 is better. I think everything else on the Glock, as is, stock gun, is a Glock's better.
For the record, I said height over bore like an idiot. I meant bore axis. So just let the record show I'm not as dumb as I sound.
Oh, yeah,
Well-
I didn't even catch it at the time, but yeah, you're
Head
right.
over bore's not.
Well,
all the way
normally
wrong.
it's
No, that's a
normally it's
different
with like an
measurement.
optic
Yes.
with your height over your.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
that's what's.
it's a cloner thing.
Either
We didn't
way,
catch it.
I'm not as dumb
the
as I
height
sound.
of the sights over the bore are higher on the SIG.
Well,
That's true.
let's just call it over your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, the bore axis.
320 has a lot of great characteristics. If they can continue to develop this whole the fire control unit, the FCU,
I'm
320
excited.
could be great.
I'm excited for where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are the two most outstanding pistols. Like the M&P is probably also a great gun, or there's probably others, but that's like really just a copy of the Glock. SIG actually did something relatively new, won the Army contract. That's cool. The Brett also did, and I don't think it was probably as good as the SIG at 226 at the time. So like whatever. What else?
The last one that we had that I was kind of interested to hear what your thoughts were on it were MRAD or MOA for optics. Because I know you hunt a lot and you do take some far shots.
I do.
So I didn't know if you had a preference.
What about you guys? You guys want to say something I can bash?
I like, yeah. Oh, I'm just
I don't know.
prepared for
I
it.
don't shoot long distance enough, precision enough. I think that either one works if you get your dope ahead of time and you're set up and you know your adjustments, then it doesn't matter.
For sure.
Is that correct?
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, I agree.
For us being Americans, like MOA makes sense because it's based on an inch. We can understand that. Mil radian, so MRAD, mils, it's all just a measurement. It's just math.
5 clicks is 5 clicks. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. So yes, the answer is I have both. I tend to use mils. I was educated primarily on the Horus reticle and on mils. And I learned holding, which is opposite from most everyone else. Everyone else generally learns dialing. And people my age especially, because I kind of started this later in life, MOA was a thing for everyone. If you were in the military, then the mil dots and like the 10 power scopes on, for the Army and stuff like that. So I've learned both, and you're 100% right, Adam. It doesn't make a shit. What you don't want, which the Navy did, Little Blue, which was stupid on some scopes for a while, they had... I don't remember. I think it was a mil dot reticle, but the turrets, the dial was
MOA.
Yeah, MOA, and so you had to do a mouth calculation in order to like dial the scope. So it's fucking stupid.
You see that in some lower end consumer scopes as well, where it'll be like MOA turrets and
Yeah, I mean, it's
reticles.
kind of the problem with us, like I've talked about in the past, where in the past we did so much military work, we worked in conjunction with them, they had influence on our design and product from the beginning. Sometimes that's great. It's great generally if you work with the tier 1 assets. If you work with big Army, sometimes you get guys or, just even Whiteside, so like SOCOM. You'll get guys that'll decide stuff like this. You're going to have MOA and MIL combined. Like, it's stupid. It is absolutely stupid. Don't do it. But for me, MIL or MOA, all it is a measurement. You're right. You go get 100 yard zero. This is what I do for all my guns. I want to shoot long range, whether I'm shooting target or I'm hunting, which 99% of the time I'm just hunting. But I get on paper 100 yard zero. That's what I do. I shoot a group. I make sure I'm shooting good. I get my muzzle velocities, but then I set up still at every 50 meters or every 100 meters out to 1,000, and I shoot still, and I get real dope, and that's what I use. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if it's, for instance, Leopold just sent me a couple scopes, and one of them is MOA, which I was surprised because most stuff now is MIL because of military, and that's what pushes stuff. And I'll use either one. And I don't care either way, but I mean, you're exactly right. It doesn't matter. MIL or MOA makes no difference.
Yeah, I think for people that are just wondering, I know people are PRS and long range is getting really popular, and I think people are kind of worried about what should I grab, what's the most compatible with whatever. And I think, like you said, pick one and get good at it, and you're good. I prefer mills just because everyone I've ever shot with, like anyone spotting has never said come up 2 inches or come up whatever. It's just you measure inside with your reticle, and I like being able to go with tenths as opposed to
the
just
horse
like
reticle.
4.
Or that's a thing where the horse reticles, for instance, or the new scopes where you have 35 millimeter tubes, 34 millimeter tubes, you can get, 10th mil adjustments or clicks or 2/10, and that's easy. But yeah, I mean, I don't think get hung up on it. All it is a measurement, and you can use whichever one. They both work. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I care more for what I see in the scope for the reticle, like
Right.
the H59 horse, whatever you want to call
it's
it.
good.
Follow-up shots, you don't even need to do any math or any adjustments. You see the impact.
Man, you have a
Assuming you're
grid.
shooting at paper or you
Right.
see a splash, whatever, you just move that to what you're aiming at and shoot again. It's very quick.
Yeah, I mean, the only downside with the horse is that you can get lost, but you can also get lost dialing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you're right, Jay. We can move on. There is no right answer. They're both good. Just, what you have to do. It's like everything else. Like all the dudes that train, like, get a lesser gun, spend more on ammo. It doesn't matter what your measurement and your scope is. You just got to go out and shoot. You got to shoot, get a group at 100, and then start moving on to distance. Range it, get a good range, shoot the groups, make the adjustment. Don't rely on your ballistic calculator. Ballistic calculator is good. It's a crutch. It gets you within range, and then shoot your group, shoot at distance, know where it's hitting, make your adjustment. That's your dope. It's not what the ballistic calculator says. It's what your gun and ammo does, and that's what you need to do.
I think that whole idea is all-encompassing for the gun world in general. Just get what you can get and get good at it. Like Dylan Kennison shoots an M&P, and he will outshoot 99% of the people in this building, except for Adam.
No, Dylan would not shoot the shit out of me.
I know.
I mean, and I will say, Dylan, what a sweet kid.
Yeah.
But his entire adult life, he worked at the SIG Academy. He's been on a range shooting. Like Dylan probably isn't like Michael Jordan, where he has like natural talent. But the number one thing is just like they'll say with training, like time on the trigger. Like you spend time on the range, you're going to get good.
Yeah.
You shoot guns, you do anything a lot. Repetition. It's the same with any other thing in life. You're going to get good with repetition.
Speaking of Dylan and White Birch, check this out.
Our favorite local
White Birch
gun
Armory.
store.
There we go.
White Birch.
Dover, New Hampshire. Check them out.
It's a great shop.
No, Dylan's a great instructor. I mean, I've been through a lot of courses, and he's not condescending in any way.
No
He's
ego.
super nice and zero ego. Like
Sweet
he
kid.
talks to you like you're on the same level as him. He just has information that you don't have.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been behind the trigger his
Yeah.
entire adult life,
Yeah.
so he can shoot a handgun.
Yeah.
He can shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one of our triggers, actually. We're getting feedback from him.
The AR trigger, the honey badger
Our
trigger.
AR trigger, yep.
Yeah, he shoots a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what we need. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we're getting it. I mean, yeah, what'd you do? Send 10, 20 triggers out to people we know shoot
Yep.
every day?
Yep.
Yeah, that's, as a CEO, you did the right thing.
Yeah, people that we trust to give good feedback. They're not just looking for a free trigger. They didn't ask for it to begin with, so
Right.
Yeah, Tom. Oh, our trigger. I'm so excited about our trigger. Oh, Tommy, right now you need to cut to a picture of the trigger. It's so beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
a Klingon ship, Star Trek. Most of you guys aren't even going to know what that is, but people my age, it's like, man, they had some hotties, the Klingons. Mm.
I want to go back to one of the questions: the
Yeah.
Mexican versus Chinese.
Oh, God.
I've been thinking about
duck
it.
sauce.
Good.
If I can put General's chicken on nachos, it's a game changer.
So you're just-
Jesus.
Yep, that's my answer.
we should probably try that and verify that claim.
We haven't eaten lunch yet.
Completely off topic. We talked about it a little bit yesterday.
Mm.
Did you see that there's a lawmaker in Oklahoma that is trying to make an official Bigfoot hunting season? But he also made a statement saying, "I want to be
Is this the Tiger King guy, Oklahoma?
No. He's still in jail. But this law, I don't even remember the guy's name, but he just said, I want to make it real clear we're not killing Bigfoot. So I think they're just trying to trap him. And there's
Well, that's a
currently-
trapping season. That's not a hunting
That's,
season.
hey, but there's currently a $25,000 bounty on Bigfoot.
That's too low.
I agree.
That is too low.
I mean,
What would you do if you?
I will pay
That's
a
the
million.
thing. Assuming Bigfoot's not fake.
Listen, if there's a hunting season, you're in Oklahoma, you kill Bigfoot, do not turn in. I will pay you $2 million for Bigfoot. 25,000? Are you serious?
You know how many people would be pissed if you killed Bigfoot?
Oh yeah,
Who
they killed a lion
cares?
with a collar on it, and the world blew up.
Well,
Cecil the
it had
lion
a-
or whatever.
It had a collar on it.
Well,
It was a pet.
Well,
somebody's pet.
he should stay in his fucking yard. All right.
assuming Bigfoot's not a myth.
Yeah.
$25,000 is not enough to pay your hospital bills for when he rips you in half.
Well, that's the thing.
It's
like,
not. It won't pay your attorney bills.
What are you bringing in the woods? Assuming he lives in the woods.
yeah, because you're not allowed to kill him.
What do you bring with you?
The honey badger, idiot.
You're not allowed
Really?
to kill him.
No, assuming you have
Oh,
to
you
defend
can't.
yourself.
You can't kill him.
He's gonna try to
Then
kill you.
then take something with a dead air silencer because it's going to break in half and hit him in the head and knock
Stun
him
him.
out.
All right, let me just. You're looking for Bigfoot.
Yep.
You're prepared for it to try to kill you.
Yep.
What are you bringing to defend yourself?
Why do you think it's going to kill you?
PKM.
Maybe he wants to play
Because-
cards and eat Chinese.
That's the thing. You don't know. So what are you bringing?
I don't know. I don't like this question.
Ooh, can you
This
only
is
bring
the question you
Can you
don't
only
like?
bring one thing, or is it like
No, it's-
3 things?
you
I mean,
can bring-
I have the answer.
You can bring a truck with whatever you want in it. What are you bringing?
Nunchucks.
I'll bring
Jesus Christ.
I'll bring a super mobile.
That is not what I expected.
A super mobile. We're gonna not bring any Jack Links.
Mhm.
No,
No,
those
he
get,
he
those
remembers.
get you wrecked.
Yeah, he remembers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring a food truck that's super mobile that I can get through the woods. I can just like a push cart or like a
Jesus
something.
Christ.
A push cart doesn't sound mobile through the woods, Jay.
No, you're right. But
I
some
never
sort
thought
of
at
food cart.
47 this would be
Some
all
sort of food cart because he's probably hungry. He's been eating berries or whatever for however long, and a PKM.
He's Bigfoot. You don't think he'd roll up to a food truck on the sidewalk and just take it?
Take it. I got a PKM.
Oh,
Not in a food truck.
mounted to the
Not,
top?
not in the little
No, it's gonna be-
Hispanic
I'm
fella
gonna
that
sling it.
fixes me
Yeah.
tacos at the local food truck.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing the PKM.
You're
I'm gonna be
assuming
different.
Bigfoot is sort of civilized.
Well, yeah, I can go if he's
This
he's
is a-
cool, we can eat food together. If he's not cool, I got a PKM.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I would bring a pack of dogs.
Oh, like hunting dogs?
Yeah.
Not domestic.
Not
Little,
my homies.
I got you.
Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah. With an OG, not an AWG.
I got you.
I'd bring those and just a big ass rifle.
PKM.
I don't care what it is.
A double
As long as it
rifle,
shoots.
clearly.
Ooh, classy.
Nothing if not
And that's just
classy.
assuming Bigfoot's hostile.
Right.
I would bring some Jack Links in case he's not. And we'll share Jack Links together.
Perfect.
disappointed in us.
Bigfoot reminded me
Oh,
of
Jesus. Can we move on?
another story. Yeah, we're gonna move on. Recently in Michigan, I saw that there was a big operation. The fire department got called out on this river because there was a goose that was struggling in the water. So they laid out this whole operation to go rescue this goose. And upon getting up to the goose, they realized it was a decoy. It was a hunting decoy.
Hmm.
So
We've got to get those guys some binoculars.
I just I continue to be disappointed in America.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Number one, Canada geese. Fuck those guys.
Shitting all
All
over the
right.
place.
I got nothing wrong.
They're
I got
terrible.
nothing.
Well, okay, so you don't know, apparently. They skip fucking Maine when they migrate. Because let me tell you about Canada geese, all right? They're not endangered. Those little assholes, there's so many. There's billions of them.
Seen 'em.
I'm convinced billions.
Yeah.
And all they do is shit in your yard. And if they have, like, little geese, what do you call little geese? Is that like a chick? I don't know.
A gooseling?
Okay.
A geeseling?
So a chickling, they will chase you in your own yard. Which you know what I do? I soccer kick those motherfuckers. All right,
How many times have you been chased by a Canada goose?
me never, because I don't fucking run, because I'm not bitch
You
made.
just stand
But
up.
but my kids when they were 5 years old will haul ass, and they're terrified. Then they wouldn't go out in the yard, and they shit everywhere. So then the kids running from the geese track shit in my house. I don't know. Fuck geese. There's tons of them. They shouldn't be protected. We should shoot them. What was the question?
There's no question. I kind of back saying I got no
I don't blame the
attachment
geese.
to
I don't know, but
Yeah,
so
whatever.
the fire department. So we're spending tax dollars
Exactly.
to go save a goose, which is overpopulated anyway, and then it's a
Assuming
decoy.
it's a Canadian goose.
Yes.
Like there are so many. Like I think it's okay for me to drink at work. If you're a fireman, you should not be drinking at work. And this is
No.
what it leads to. You're rescuing plastic geese on a river and endangering the lives of your coworkers
Well, Adam
over a
said
decoy.
If they had some binoculars, they could have maybe just taken a peek. But
Mm.
they said,
a
well,
thermal reason, not been intoxicated.
yeah. The
Pick
fire
your
chief
thing.
just said, well, it was a good training exercise. So
Well,
he
I do.
saved face.
Well, the fire chief's an idiot, but I like his attitude.
Yeah, if they could learn something from it, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not a total waste.
Don't chase a plastic goose decoy.
Right.
Geese are to be shot and eaten occasionally.
And kicked in the front yard.
They are not to risk human life to save them on a frozen river. If a goose is on a frozen river and struggling, that's Darwinism.
Mm. But for the record, we don't condone any violence toward geese.
No?
Well, I personally
Bullshit. Your record does not count.
There's a legitimate hunting season.
Yes. Cue official statement.
I think I meant
is
more
when
so
it's
the kicking of geese is, I think.
Not saying hunting is violence, by the way.
I don't know. Like, what do you gotta?
There's goose self-defense. I'm a huge supporter of.
You're not a father. Yeah, okay. So I was gonna say you're not a father, but yeah, if a goose is attacking your kid, you don't have a gun, you can't shoot
you
it.
Cook the goose for sure.
You don't kick the goose.
Goose self-defense. Q is big supporters of.
Why are we
as a
so
company.
close to the goose that it attacks us though?
They were in his
That's
yard.
the way they are. They're fucking assholes.
They come to you?
Yeah. They do not respect the idea of personal space.
Was this in Georgia?
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe they were displeased that they had to leave their home because it got a little chilly? And so they're just kind of on edge anyway because they're like, we don't really know this area. We don't want to be here.
I mean, they don't pay taxes. They don't get to claim home,
That's
as far
fair.
as I'm concerned.
Fair argument.
And to be fair, if I was allowed to shit wherever I want, I probably would. So, no blame there.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do it because you get kicked or arrested when you do it.
No law in the goose world. Maybe there needs to be
I
some
mean,
law.
I think there is a law.
Lawless animals.
There are laws, and it's up to us to enforce them. And if a goose attacks my kid or shits in my living room, it gets kicked. If it's goose
Now it's
season,
in his living room. Here we go.
You're the first goose. I'm nominating you as the first Goose Sheriff.
hey, if there's goose season there in my yard, you're fucking getting shot.
Let's move on to something we care about. What is this? This is sitting here. It's not usually
Oh,
there.
this. So, hopefully, our man Thomas, if he's not too busy in his personal life, will do some B-roll and show this. So, this is the Sterling Mark V. So, the Sterling submachine gun. So most of you youngsters will understand the Sterling, that generation of subgun. The Sterling is the Stormtroopers submachine gun. So, it's their little phaser laser
Yeah, they
thing.
just took the magazine out and full
Yeah,
stock.
so the Mark V is a silenced version. Well, the silenced version's cool. It's kind of like the MP5 SD. It's integral. It's just as quiet. A lot of holes in the barrel. The silencer encompasses the barrel. Has a handguard on the silencer. It's pretty interesting. So this is a maintenance and cleaning kit for just the silencer. This is much more rare than the gun itself. And probably 20, 25 years ago when I bought this was, I don't know, $600 or $800. This is what it took to maintain a silencer of that era. So the Mark V is probably done in the 50s, maybe early 60s. So post World War II, every 500 rounds you're supposed to disassemble the silencer. As you see in here, there are mallets, there are Allen keys, there's wrenches, there's wooden dowels to beat stuff out. So this is a multi-hour operation to clean the silencer of this. They are very quiet, but they're big and they're heavy and they're maintenance intensive. So this is something I brought in to show you guys the evolution of silencers. It's not always sound, it's not always accuracy, it's not these other things, but we don't want our consumers to have to purchase a kit like this and spend their entire Saturday afternoon instead of mowing their lawn or getting rid of geese to clean their silencer. So, I mean, probably no one's ever seen this before.
No. That is a good point that you bring up there, where people generally just think of like, I want something that's the quietest, or I want something that's light or whatever, and they never think about how easy or simple it is to clean their silencer now as compared to that, for sure.
Well, that's cool. And I mean, it's our job. It's like I said to you before we started this whole thing. If you'd ask, it's what Henry Ford said. You ask him if he had asked people what they wanted, they'd said a faster horse.
Right.
Or, Steve Jobs with the iPhone. He didn't want people's input. He knew what they needed. And, and to a much lesser degree, silencers, same way. Like, we don't understand how easy it is from the 70s, early 80s, and World War II up till then, when silencers contained wire mesh and stuff like this, the maintenance involved in dealing with them and what a burden it was and why nobody wanted a silencer. And that's a prime example.
That's awesome.
All right, Adam. I see this all the time now. Well, not as much now that the Sig Cross has been recalled for now, maybe a second time. So I have people occasionally, the trolls and the young memers, say that basically we developed the fixed rifle at SIG, and it was the cross, and we just started this company to rip it off and to build the gun. What do you got to say about that?
Well, I can say that before I worked at Q, I was SIG's rifle product manager, and that is not true. We were not working on a bolt gun unless there was some skunk works that I didn't know about. But no, that's not true at all. I would say that was the first product we developed to launch at SHOT Show. And two people that were integral to that development process left and went back to SIG to work. And then they launched the Cross. So if you follow that timeline, you come to your own conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, we did not develop the fixed rifle at SIG.
No.
And what SIG did was take the fixed rifle and its success. And, I mean, they're smart. They knew what it was going to become. And they copied in their own version, and they half-assed it and didn't have the proper engineering. And now we see where they are with that. They're in recall land.
Yeah, and we still have friends at SIG. I'm not going to name anybody, but you know, we've been told that people have saw the engineers measuring fixed parts at SIG.
Yeah, and
Like,
I mean,
come
we
on.
even know what
It's fine.
serial
Yeah.
number they've got.
Yeah, we know exactly which one.
So, I mean, you know, and a problem that they have was there's parts of the SIG that are protected by intellectual property, so by patents, and are very complicated. And them trying to integrate like the SSG, an older Sauer SIG rifle, into basically the concept of the fix. I mean, and we see now they're having problems. They had to recall them all for safety issues.
Yeah,
And it's a result of that and not doing the validation, trying to bring it to market quick and tell this story, you know, like I see. And I mean, that's the part that bugs me with SIG. It's like, it's free market. Do whatever you want. Like, we created a new category. There's a need for it. Make your own gun. Compete with us. But the idea of their PR people saying, you know, and they're propagating this, that we actually stole it from them. I mean, so it's pretty ironic and wonderful to see them have to recall the gun.
yeah. I mean,
for
some
my
of the people in the PR, you know, that person was my boss. Like, it's not true.
Right.
And I'm not bitter about, oh, they copied the fix, because it's not a copy. Obviously, it's influenced by it. And I'm bitter about the lies, whether from SIG directly or from the trolls online, not knowing what they're talking about. I'm pumped that somebody else is doing a similar gun, because it, you know, solidifies what we did.
Right.
It makes it a legitimate product. It shows us that there's a need for a lesser expensive version of it for consumers that can't maybe afford ours, or just brand loyal to SIG, whatever it is. So I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, rising tide.
Yeah.
I hate the fact, though, that SIG half-asses everything so much. I hope it's not construed that there's a problem with the platform as to why the recalls exist. The problem is with SIG, their lack of follow-through with engineering and testing and rushing product to market because of marketing or whatever the cause is that leads to all the recalls that they have.
It's cool that we put this to bed, but I guarantee I will still see again in the comments, even recently, as within the last few days, someone was talking about, I don't know their username, whatever, but said that they came up with their story and they were like, well, actually, Kevin started working on the fix when he was at SIG, and that's why they look similar and all that. And it's like, how are you going to comment on the Q's page what Q did? Like,
I mean, that's stupid. And I've wanted to do a version. So it all started with the Remington MSR rifle and the Rax chassis. And I wanted to replace the Remington 700 when Remington purchased my company, Advanced Armament. And I was a company man. I wanted to make Remington the greatest gun company in the history of the world. And I saw that the chassis itself, or the MSR rifle, could become the next generation. It had improvements over the 700, and that should be the 700 for the next 50 years I wanted to do. And that didn't work out. And then at SIG, I wanted to do it, but there was never a drawing. There was nothing ever other than a discussion, perhaps with the CEO, of my idea of that. But we didn't entertain it. And so when it came here, it was obvious. You know, Hillary looked like she was going to be elected instead of Trump. And so part of the idea was that it was a bolt action rifle, and so it wouldn't be legislated like a gas gun. And so, all those factors played into it. But it was good timing, but it happened here, and everything else is bullshit. That's the real story.
Yeah, there's always talks at SIG about, bring back the Sauer 101, or, let's do a bolt gun. There were obviously guys there who have a passion for bolt guns, but it just never kicked off into anything more than just a conversation. And it was the conversation was, let's just bring back the Sauer 101. That was as close as SIG got to doing a bolt gun.
That's what Ron brought to me after I brought this, and I was totally uninterested because who cares? Traditional gun. Like, I wanted to create a new market that I thought there would be interest in.
Yeah, that's a great rifle, but it's not something you resurrect and call new.
Well, even if you just look at timeline, like anyone who has any idea of the general time it takes to develop and launch a new gun, if you just look at the timeline between how long it took the Cross to come out after the fix was already out. So if it was like you guys started at the same time and the fix was already out, the Cross should have come a year later, not 4 years later.
Yeah, I mean, we brought that to SHOT Show in 2017,
in
which
January.
means we worked on it in 16.
Right.
And I agree and disagree with your comment because we kind of defied, that norm. We cranked through that design process, and it's all we worked on for a year.
But your point basically saying, like, I know Q put all the efforts into it, rolled it out extremely quickly in comparison to other products within the industry, but even that alone adds to the point of, if this small company was able to do that with the group of engineers that it has, a company as big as SIG should have been able to roll. If it were started at the same time, like people say it was, SIG should have been able to roll one out immediately after.
When we say like people say it was, this is like anonymous assholes and memers and PR people who are paid to say lies. It's bullshit. When we started it was the very first meeting, the very first week of the company. That was in March. In September, we were shooting prototypes. It's all we worked on. We never did the work at SIG. And so all that's bullshit.
Yep.
Going back to the listeners' questions, whatever you want to call it, the this or that.
Jesus, are we back to food?
No.
Bigfoot.
No, I meant to say, if any of our listeners, especially anyone who's made it this far, has comments or has answers to that, hit us up in the comments below.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have a podcast email. So if there's, like Adam just said, any questions like that, comments, if there's anything from other episodes that people wanted more explanation on, like if there was a topic that they really liked and wanted to hear more about.
Oh, yeah, we probably missed stuff.
Yeah, they can email podcast@liveqordie.com. Also, if people want to send in any art or anything that we're going to kind of move into a new location, and if there's anything within reason, you don't need to send a 12-foot canoe or anything. But if there's something that, Adam does need one. But if you want to see any art or anything like that, you can email that email and we can get you the address and send it in. And we can hang up some cool stuff or whatever.
Yeah, pimp the podcast room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
You should have just said that.
Pimp the podcast room at podcast@liveqordie.com.
Oh, do we have that?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We're lining up some interviews for the future too, so it won't just always be the
so
three of
not
us.
just be us.
Yep.
I know. I'm excited. We have David Stark from Discreet Ballistics coming.
Yep, he's coming in a couple weeks.
Yeah. That was a weird thing. Are you guys still doing the deal where we're gonna like pack up some of this and send it to people so we can do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I already priced it out and sent it to Thomas over here. So
yeah,
just got to get a hold of it and then we'll get it out.
All right. Yeah, I look forward to actually doing some of the podcasts that I did a few years ago, whether it be Trey or Chris Barrett or Todd Huey or whoever. Let's send them the stuff and do an update on it. That's going to be fun and exciting. Because Todd Huey, for instance, I mean, Lone Star Boar is that
kills
pig
a lot of
killing
pigs.
son of a gun. Yeah, so he's had an 8.6 and shot more stuff with it than anybody in the world. So we need to hear from him.
Definitely.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys right after this.
Yeah, let's have some lunch.
Yeah, it's about lunchtime. Huh? All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your patience. Thomas.
Edit this shit.
Watch High Fidelity. You two jacklegs.
I'm working up jacklegs.